This isn't a story about success, at least, not in the way you might think. This is about a night that most of us experience, but almost no one ever talks about. The kind of night where quitting feels logical. It feels comfortable. It even feels like the most responsible thing to do. He was just an ordinary person. No special talent, no secret shortcut, no spotlight waiting for him. He was just someone trying to figure life out. And slowly, quietly, losing hope. Every single day looked the same. Wake up before the sun, rush through mind-numbing traffic, sit in a cubicle that felt like it was draining the life out of him. He worked hard, really hard, but not on anything he actually loved. At night, exhausted, he'd tell himself, "This isn't forever, this is just temporary." But the weeks bled into months, and temporary started to feel terrifyingly permanent. You have to understand, he wasn't always like this. There was a time when he truly believed his life could be different. He had plans scribbled in notebooks, ideas that would keep him awake at night, buzzing with excitement. Dreams that felt so real he could almost taste them. But reality has a funny way of silencing dreams. It doesn't happen all at once, with a big crash. It happens little by little, a quiet dimming every single day. He wasn't always this person. I mean, he used to be the one who believed anything was possible. He had a fire in his eyes. He talked about the future with such certainty. But life has a way of throwing things at you, chipping away at that belief. One setback, then another. And now here, a closed door there. Each one was small, but they added up, slowly turning that fire into smoke. Then the questions started. You know the ones. From friends, from family. So, what's next for you? Making any progress on that thing you were working on? When are things finally going to change? They didn't mean any harm, of course. They were just curious. But every question felt like another spotlight on his lack of progress. A reminder that he was falling behind some imaginary timeline. And then came that night. The one this whole story is about. That night, everything just felt heavier. Another rejection email had landed in his inbox. Another attempt at his passion project had failed. The weight of it all was crushing. He sat on the edge of his bed and just stared at the floor. And for the first time, the thought didn't just whisper. It spoke clearly in his mind. Maybe I should just stop trying. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't emotional. It was just tired, a deep, bone-weary exhaustion that went beyond physical fatigue. He thought about it. Really thought about it. Giving up the dream. Choosing the safe, predictable path. Settling. And in that moment, that thought scared him more than the fear of failure ever did. Because deep down, he knew a fundamental truth. Quitting wouldn't hurt immediately. It would be a slow, creeping regret that would haunt him for years. A quiet ache for the rest of his life. No one called him that night. There was no life-changing video that popped up on his feed. No miracle happened. There was just silence. A profound, empty silence. And in that silence, a simple, powerful realization dawned on him. No one was coming. No one was going to show up and rescue him. There was no perfect moment waiting around the corner. No sudden burst of motivation was going to strike him like lightning. If anything was going to change, it would be because he decided to change it. He didn't make a big, grand promise to himself. He didn't stand up and declare, "I'm going to change my whole life starting tomorrow." He said something much smaller, much more manageable. He whispered it to himself in the quiet of his room. "I won't quit today. That's it. Just for today." And that was enough. The next day wasn't magical. Life didn't suddenly get easier. The rejection was still there. The bills were still due. The doubts still lingered. But he showed up. He did one small thing. Then the next day, he showed up again. And again. And again. Slowly, almost imperceptibly at first, his confidence started to return. Not because he was suddenly winning or achieving massive success, but because he just stayed in the game. He kept showing up for himself. He honored that tiny promise he made on the worst night of his life. That night didn't look special. Tu onion. Ills. It was just another Tuesday, but it became the foundation for everything that happened next. It was the turning point. So if you're listening to this, and you're tired, if you feel like you're on the edge, If the thought of quitting feels more like a relief than a failure, I get it. Just do one thing for me. For yourself, just don't quit today. That's all you have to worry about, just today. Because sometimes, that's more than enough. Thank you for listening.